Hey there and welcome to Scandal Steep. David Ruffin's departure from the Temptations was a turning point in both his career and personal life. While his departure was officially attributed to disagreements and erratic behavior, the underlying reasons were far more complex. Ruffin was an immensely talented singer with a unique voice that defined many of the Temptations' biggest hits, including My Girl. However, fame brought challenges, and his struggles with ego, addiction, and personal demons ultimately led to his downfall. Born David Eli Ruffin on January 18, 1941, in Wynot, Mississippi, he grew up in a strict yet loving household. His father, Eli Ruffin, was a truck driver and a deeply religious man who instilled discipline in his children. Music played a significant role in David's upbringing, and he, along with his siblings, performed gospel music. From an early age, it was evident that David possessed a special gift. His powerful and emotive voice set him apart. Inspired by gospel legends like Sam Cooke, he envisioned a future beyond the small, rural town he called home. At just 14, Ruffin left home to pursue his dream. He traveled to Memphis with Reverend Eddie Bush, a family friend, who took him under his wing. In Memphis, David immersed himself in the local music scene, performing at talent shows and learning from seasoned musicians. His ambition led him to Hot Springs, Arkansas, where he performed under the name Little David, gradually building a reputation. By the age of 16, he had moved to Detroit, where his brother Jimmy Ruffin was already working at Ford Motor Company while pursuing his own musical aspirations. Detroit in the late 1950s was a hotbed of musical talent, and it wasn't long before David found himself working alongside some of Motown's greatest artists. He even assisted in constructing Hitsville, USA, the legendary Motown studio. During this time, he met Berry Gordy Jr., who was just beginning to shape what would become the iconic Motown sound. David worked various jobs at Motown, from packing records to singing background vocals, all while refining his craft. His breakthrough came in 1964 when he joined the Temptations. At the time, the group was already making waves but was missing a distinct lead voice. Original member Al Bryant had become disillusioned with the industry, and after a heated argument with fellow member Paul Williams, Bryant was replaced by Ruffin. His first recording session with the group took place on January 9, 1964, and while he initially sang backup, it was clear that his talent would soon propel him to the forefront. Smokey Robinson, one of Motown's top songwriters and producers, saw Ruffin's potential and wrote My Girl specifically for him. Released in December 1964, the song became the Temptations' first no-one hit on the Billboard Hot 100, cementing Ruffin's place as the group's star vocalist. His raw, heartfelt delivery captivated audiences, and he went on to lead other classics like Ain't Too Proud to Beg, I Wish It Would Rain, and Since I Lost My Baby. With fame, however, came challenges. Ruffin's growing popularity led to tension within the group. He began demanding more recognition, even proposing that the group be renamed David Ruffin and the Temptations, much like what had happened with Diana Ross and the Supremes. His bandmates and Motown executives rejected the idea, believing it would undermine the group's collective identity. This fueled Ruffin's frustrations, and his behavior became increasingly erratic. By the mid-1960s, Ruffin's personal struggles were becoming more apparent. He developed a serious cocaine addiction, which, coupled with his unpredictable behavior and frequent absences, strained his relationship with the Temptations. He started missing rehearsals, showing up late to performances, and making excessive demands. The breaking point came on June 27, 1968, when he skipped a concert to see his then-girlfriend, Gail Martin, perform. The group had reached their limit. That same night, they decided to fire him, quietly replacing him with Dennis Edwards. Ruffin did not take the news well. Upon discovering that he had been replaced, he lashed out, making headlines. He even attempted to rejoin the group by crashing their performances. During one infamous incident, he stormed the stage mid-performance, grabbed the microphone, and began singing, much to the audience's shock. This only solidified the group's decision to move on without him. Following his departure, Ruffin pursued a solo career. He released several songs, including My Whole World Ended, The Moment You Left Me, which was well received. However, he struggled to maintain the same level of success he had achieved with the Temptations. His battles with addiction and legal troubles overshadowed his musical accomplishments. In the 1980s, he was arrested multiple times for drug-related offenses and unpaid taxes, spending brief periods in jail. Despite his struggles, Ruffin attempted to turn his life around. In 1989, he was sentenced to 2 years of probation and 50 days of community service. He also completed a rehab program, seemingly making progress. He reunited with Eddie Kendricks and Dennis Edwards for a successful month-long tour in England. However, tragedy struck on May 31, 1991, when Ruffin was found unresponsive after allegedly purchasing and using a large amount of crack cocaine. He was rushed to a hospital in Philadelphia but was pronounced dead on June 1, 1991. He was 50 years old. The circumstances surrounding his death remain controversial. Reports surfaced that Ruffin had been carrying a significant amount of cash the night he died, around $40,000, which mysteriously disappeared. Some speculated that foul play was involved, while others believed it was simply a tragic overdose. His close friends and family questioned the events of his final hours, leading to conspiracy theories that persist to this day. Regardless of the unanswered questions, David Ruffin's impact on music is undeniable. His voice, filled with raw emotion and unmatched intensity, continues to influence artists across generations. Though his life was marred by personal struggles, his contribution to the Temptations and the Motown legacy remains legendary. His story serves as both an inspiration and a cautionary tale, reminding us of the fine line between genius and self-destruction.